Alright, 6:35, we'll call the public safety meeting to order. Roll call has been taken. Need a motion to approve the agenda.
Second.
Moved by Evans, second by Jane. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Motion to approve the minutes from September 23rd meeting.
I'll approve them with adding that Dave Beal took them.
Second.
Alright, motion by Foodie, second by Evans to approve the minutes. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Citizens wishing to be heard? See nobody here. First up we have Dave, Police Chief, monthly report, September and October.
Monthly reports are handed out. 2 points of interest. One of them is the email that I included in the packet about trick or treat. That's just, I guess, for your information at this point, and maybe further discussion down the road, but I really don't think as a city to try and do an event. First off, you'd need a civic group to sponsor that event. The city certainly, I don't think would be able to take that on.
Right.
But I just wanted to share one of the concerns that was passed on to me. And then we had Bob Rist, who's been a crossing guard since 2010, resign. He was the one that took care of the intersection down on West Oak Grove and Fairfield. So we're looking for a full-time crossing guard if anybody wants to get out in the morning and get out in the afternoon.
Does Mary still do it?
Mary still does at this point, but right now we got our 2 fill-in crossing guards that are covering the spot, so it's being covered, but you can always use more. I think that's what I got for monthly reporting.
Alright, any questions for Dave? Discuss and approve 2022 Dodge County Humane Society contract.
So it did go up slightly from last year. I believe the amount we paid in past years was $1,900 for the 10 animals. I would recommend that we do the 10 animals again, and that's up to $2,200. We did adjust the budget to reflect that because we got these numbers before the budget got set for 2022. So, and then the other thing that we have always done in the past, and I recommend that we continue to do this, on page 2 where it says choose the following approval options. We must have approval before accepting any animals. That would be a yes. It must have approval for any animal over the contract terms if it's been reached. They have my phone number for approval and Russ Ebert's if I'm not available, because otherwise you get people, oh, I found a dog on 26.
Right.
Okay, we're on 26. At 26 and A, well, that's not City of Juneau. So sometimes you have to ask a couple of questions to find out for sure where it's coming from. Otherwise, people bring them from the town, especially people that find a dog along the road. They stop, pick it up, and
Sure.
so those are the 2 things that I think need to be part of the approval. And then, like I said, we've gone with the 10 animals, and that's been working fine for us.
How many do you get out of here? Approximately.
It varies. You know, not every dog that we pick up goes out there. And then sometimes if I know that we're not gonna reach our limit for dogs. They have in the past taken cats, even though we always specified dogs only. So I've been able to take a few cats out there to hit our 10. Now with the new contract, you can't just specify dogs per the contract, but we still have the local control over whether or not we take dogs or what we take out there. So, cause I mean, if we took cats out there, this 10 animals would not be enough. The 40 domestic animals at $5,000 would not be enough.
Right.
We could fill that in 2 weeks. So, unfortunately, cats are a problem in the city, but a lot of it stems from people feeding them. You know, then they wonder why they come back.
Right.
So, I guess just need a motion. to
Okay, so
hold
you're happy with
this
the contracts
account.
and everything, the changes and everything?
Yeah.
All right, I'll make a motion to approve the 2022 Dodge County Humane Society contract.
Second?
Motion by Schuster, second by Foodie. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
John,
Motion
just
carried.
as part of that, that was for the 10 animals.
Yeah.
correct?
With the 2 approvals, right?
Yes.
Yeah, send that to council. All right, next we have discuss and approve sidewalk cafe ordinance.
So probably the only thing that came out of this, that I'm aware of, that was brought up as something that people wanna change. On page 2, where exhibit A is up on top, where it goes down under conditions, so number 5 in section B, a sidewalk cafe permit can only be utilized between April 1st and October 1st. I'd probably recommend we put it to November 1st.
Yeah.
And then that runs through the entire month of October, because I know that was a request that came from the 1850s. They had wanted it at least through,
Or have a little Halloween party or something.
Halloween or something.
Outside if it was nice.
you know, just say you get a warm fall.
Yep.
Yeah, I think we did.
But I think by November 1st, we're pretty
Yeah, get to November.
pretty well done, so. That's the only change that I heard from anybody that had it.
Chief, I've got one thing. He had an open flame,
I got that.
gas-fired fireplace type thing, and it was a pretty good flame. So I had asked him, you know, did you have that okayed? And he said, no, I just wanted something here for heat. So is there anything written in as far as what they can do for heat outside? Does it have to be the patio heaters? The overhead
Right.
patio heaters? If not, that would be the only other thing I would suggest, that he can't have an open flame heater. I went and talked to him, and he removed it the very next day.
He is very.
So it was not a problem with him to remove it. I just, you know, I wanna make sure that if somebody else does it, they don't go out and buy something, or all of a sudden he's got it out and somebody else buys one, well, now we're arguing with a couple of people.
Well, under C for restrictions, number 8 could be an addition added to it. I mean, this is the time to
No
make any.
open, no open flame,
Right, yeah, because this, no rush, I mean, we got
right.
the rest of the winter to discuss
And
this
and you can say no open flame heating or atmosphere, you know, cause it can, well, we don't use it for heat, we like the look of it.
No decorative.
No open flame
Period.
fired units, or,
Right.
yeah. That way it has to be one of the overhead that, you know, heats the top up, or those, they have glass ones that the fire goes through or whatever. It just can't be an open flame.
And in that, like Dave said, if you wanna extend it to November 1st, there's also, if you keep paging, in that information that Sean drew up, another place, and then we should change it to November 1st then too.
No
I think
open,
it's-
no open flame
You gotta
heat
keep
source.
going.
Mhm.
Just leave it that
That's fine.
simple.
I have it marked.
Now, I'm just gonna ask another question. Why limit the time?
As,
I'm
like,
just asking.
from,
No, why limit it to so many months?
because of the snow
Okay.
removal.
For snow removal, yeah, I think they want the sidewalk clear for the winter months, so.
Okay.
And then like.
Oh, so they have to take it away in the winter?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
gotta be- it's
okay.
all gotta be gone.
Okay, all right, then I'm good. I was just thinking if it's a really nice day out, they'd have people out there.
But that makes sense.
That's good, okay. I wasn't sure that, I didn't know that they had to remove it for the winter months.
You know, if anybody else is interested in doing something next year or not,
Yeah, I know the bowling alley talked about doing something, but a little different than that, so that would require, I think he was talking an actual deck.
Okay.
right, yeah.
I'm only because I've heard this for a couple of years, I'm gonna ask another question. If it's their property, why do they have to be limited for the time it's out there? The bowling alley, it would be his own property.
Yeah, it depends upon, again, it'll depend upon what he actually does.
Okay, I'm just bringing out questions you're probably gonna get, so,
It does encroach onto the city sidewalk a little bit,
I
I
was
think.
gonna
Okay.
say, there's,
okay, all right. If it's city property, then absolutely, I see it. But if it's their
There's
own
gotta
property,
be- There's gotta be 5 foot, I believe it is, for the sidewalk clearance that they have to maintain.
Okay.
But I believe some of it does encroach upon city
city,
sidewalk.
okay. Perfect.
Cause he talked about putting some up at a curb there to step up and stuff, so.
Yeah.
We're talking about blocking off that never happened, but, so.
I'm sure when the time comes to redo East Oak Street, there'll be a lot of ideals thrown out there.
Mhm.
Probably, yeah.
So the flame heat source, what about if they just say, oh, this is for decoration, or this is for ambiance?
Well, that's what I mean,
That's
no
right.
open flame.
Yeah, you mentioned that, too, no open
ambience
flame at
or
all.
heat.
So just leave heat source out of it?
Yeah,
then?
no
Say
open
no
flame.
open flame.
Period.
Devices?
Devices,
Device.
sure.
I don't know if that's correct terminology.
Yep.
or
Covers everything.
Apparatus, or, I don't know.
Devices.
Devices, sure.
And we get to tell them what a device is.
Yeah. Well, let's get something written up for next meeting, and with no flame and the new dates till end of October, November 1st, and,
Yeah.
I will
so-
see if I can get some wording
yeah, see what.
on the open
Gotta do some
flame.
research on this for
Yes.
heating out there.
Good idea.
Cause like I say, this will not be done tonight, so.
No, it doesn't.
Just kinda discuss it and see what other ideas we got, I guess, kinda think about it next, over a month here and see what else we can come up with.
All right.
Somebody else got anything right on that then for now? Like I said, there was no problem with him out there, I mean, there's no,
No. No, I think.
looked
it-
nice and.
It worked well, they policed it well themselves.
Yeah.
So I think overall it was somewhat of a draw to the city, and like I said, it made the downtown look a little nicer.
Yeah, it was nice.
Yeah, and they chair and tables and stuff out there, fence, so.
You know, but if we can do anything to promote our downtown,
Right.
we should be for it, you know.
Exactly.
Yeah, cause I mean, the Juneau Cafe is gonna, if they remain popular, they have outside seating there.
Yeah.
So, we just gotta think about it, it's not just there, it could be at someplace else.
Right.
Yeah, except they aren't encroaching
Correct, they
the
aren't.
city sidewalk.
Right.
Yeah.
It's their own property.
Yeah, there's. All right, anything else, Dave?
No, that is what I have.
All right, we'll move on to the EMS monthly report.
I have my monthly report for September and 20th. For the month of September, we had 36 calls compared to September of 2020, which was 30, so we're about 6 above that. And then you have the October report in front of you as well. For the month of October, we had 46 calls compared to 37 from the year before. Been a pretty steady year. Our call volume right now our call number is at 385, so they're probably right on track where we were last year. We'll probably end up around the 400 to 410 someplace in there for us, so. If you have any questions on any of these reports, just, I can try to answer it for you or get you an answer. If anybody wants to join EMS, we're sending flyers out, and so by all means, please, contact me or one of the members, and we'll get you on board, so we can use help. That's all I had.
Okay, thanks, Dan. Next up, Fire Chief Kurt, monthly report, September and October.
All right, 9 calls from September through October. Kind of mixed together, some CO detection, some vehicle accidents, and no fires. All vehicle accidents, medical assist, and a gas spill.
Any questions for Kurt?
Same thing with the fire department, we're looking for members. If you have any interest, go down to City Hall, they'll give you my direct phone number, and I'll answer any and give you a tour and see if you're interested. Thank you.
Thanks, Kurt. Back to Dave with the Emergency Government Director report.
Okay, probably just the only thing that mentioned, and I hope we don't have to worry about it for a long time, is don't forget what the winter months coming to shovel around your hydrant if you have one on your property, and keep it clear of snow, because as the fire chief I'm sure will say, that few minutes can make a heck of a difference, and it could be your house that they're saving, so keep your fire hydrant shoveled.
Okay. All right, thanks. Any future agenda items, anybody? I got nothing. Old business? Any new business?
I just was wondering about, the potted plants on Main Street, have those all been removed now? Those that were hanging up? I didn't drive down there, so I don't know. And if someone, okay,
I know they collected the park benches.
okay. And then the house on Fairfield, any idea on, has anybody heard when that'll be cleaned up or taken care of?
I have not heard, fire-wise. I don't even know if the final report came in yet. from
I
the
don't
state.
know, the last I heard is that the insurance companies were battling back and forth as
Yes.
to who's at fault and that kind of stuff,
So
so.
it's difficult, you got 2 owners there and one
Right.
building kinda, so yeah. I'm
One's
sure-
filed suit against the other one.
Yeah, so there's, I'm sure the.
But
insurance
there's a
company
reason
bad.
they're still there, I mean, they've been investigated and looked at, and,
They have to, at what point are they going to destroy and rebuild? Right now, if the one on the south side isn't damaged other than water damage, you don't have to tear it down. The other one needs to be tore down.
It's not one structure though.
So
I made a
it's,
bunch
but
of
it's one
calls.
structure, so.
I made a bunch of calls, and that's what I found out, is I was
Yeah.
battling between insurance companies, and they were told that hopefully by Thanksgiving it'd be taken care of, but that's next week, I don't
Yeah.
see it happening.
I sent out reports to 3 lawyer firms and all insurance companies involved.
Okay.
So,
I was just asking
Yep.
because people ask about it, and I'm like, I made some phone calls, that's all I know.
And at some point, can we demand that it's fenced? Because right now it's open.
Well, and
That's a hazard.
Yeah.
if you can get me the insurance company's information for both places,
Okay.
I'll start calling, because, yeah, it needs to be.
It's either gotta be fenced or something at a certain point.
Cause
I
I
think
had
that's all the
contact
neighbors
with
are
them
looking
when the weeds, the grass was starting to grow
Right.
that tall again. I said,
Yeah.
this needs to be cleaned up.
Well, what happens during the winter now with the snow?
Yeah.
Well, they're still the property owners, so they're gonna have to make sure they keep
But
it
if-
shoveled.
I'm just saying, if the grass didn't get mowed.
Well, they
Yeah.
did, come and cut it at least once, but, yeah, if, being that both parties are still owned by the people or the
They're two
insurance
separate,
companies at
yeah.
this point, they're responsible for snow shoveling, and if not, the city will bill them and put it on their tax rolls if they don't pay the invoice. You know, same procedure for anybody else that doesn't shovel their sidewalk.
Sure.
Well, I think right now the concern is the hazard.
Yeah, it's an eyesore.
Yeah, and the looks of it, right?
That's all I have.
It's all right, yeah, Kurt, if you wanna give me the information on insurance and
I'll do that.
Dave, see what you can figure out. Set time and date for next meeting, if we need one, December 23rd, 2021 at 6:30 PM. I will move to adjourn.
Second.
Motion by Schuster, second by Evans, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We are adjourned.